Our world is in motion. Never in history were people and machines traveling so intensively and so many miles around the globe. But modern people also produce more waste than ever, and this waste is also traveling. Consequently, illegal shipments of waste have become a widespread problem. Truck and shiploads of waste are crossing borders every day, legally and illegally. There are several serious consequences of illegal shipments of waste. On the one hand, financial losses for the general public, who loses millions of tax money every year. And on the other hand, illegal movement of waste causes an adverse and often irreversible impact on the environment, because tons of waste are illegally sent abroad to be later dumped at places not meant for it. The European Union, with its IMPEL Tfs network and other international organizations like the World Customs Organization, bind forces to fight illegal waste shipment. But all efforts depend on the frequency and the quality of inspections made in each country. So it is crucial that all European countries carry out these inspections frequently, because a chain is only as strong as the weakest link. So, well-prepared and properly and regularly carried out inspections help to minimize these illegal shipments. Therefore, training of the involved authorities is essential. What kind of waste streams is mainly shipped illegally? On the long list of waste streams, the most common are the waste of electric and electronic equipment. Against existing prohibitions, such shipments often travel to developing countries for doubtable recycling or reuse purposes. Another waste stream is end-of-life vehicles, which are also sold to non-member states of the OECD. Other waste streams like lead accumulators and construction waste are tried to be shipped out of the country to be treated in a non-environmentally sound manner, or simply to be dumped somewhere at no cost. Therefore, all the competent authorities and companies share great responsibility for fighting against illegal waste shipments. Thorough preparation is key to successful inspections. All relevant information can be found in the Waste Shipment Regulation and the related provisions. If possible, a database check by the competent authorities prior to the inspection is essential for the quality of the inspection. The first step for the persons responsible for organizing the inspections is to contact the responsible authorities to acquire some general information and to find the most suitable time for their successful performance. Prior to the inspection, all necessary documents, including templates to be filled in on site, have to be put together. In addition, the relevant regulations in the waste catalogue should be taken along. The next step is to prepare the equipment for the inspection. Not only reflecting safety jackets and torches should be taken along, but also helmets and gloves, protective shoes, dust masks and protective glasses belong to the standard equipment. Also needed is a chain for safely opening containers, a radiation meter, as well as a digital camera, a mobile phone and a laptop with internet access. Always be prepared for unexpected circumstances and take care of your personal safety and the safety of others. Most common inspections are done on the road, because a lot of waste shipments are still carried out by trucks. It's recommended that inspections should be performed from time to time together with the neighbouring countries. Involved stakeholders are the customs, the border police, and environmental protection inspectors. In some cases, other official bodies like the State Office for Radiological and Nuclear Safety or the veterinarian inspection are informed to take over the case according to their competencies. After stopping a vehicle by the police or customs, the first thing to do is the document check. The following documents have to accompany a notified shipment. A copy of the notification document in accordance with the waste shipment regulation, containing the written consents of the competent authorities of dispatch and destination. Also the movement document for transboundary shipments of waste, following the waste shipment regulation, and, if applicable, copies of the decisions of the competent authorities have to accompany each notified shipment. In cases of shipments which require no notification, the form contained in Annex 7 of the Waste Shipment Regulation has to be filled in and signed by the person who arranges the shipment and who shall accompany the transport. Also, documents like CMR document, invoices, and others are sources of information. The next step is to examine the shipment. Seals are to be unsealed only by customs officers. The truck should always be opened by the driver. If there is an open container, climbing the truck is necessary. What are the necessary steps if confronted with suspicious freight? First of all, it's essential to take photos for proof and for easier communication later on. If relevant, the driver could be asked to supply results of the analysis of the material. If still in doubt if the shipment is legal, samples of the material should be taken by an accredited laboratory, which will analyze these samples. Next step is the detention of the shipment and the storage in a proper place until further steps are taken. A report about the findings of the inspection has to be made and passed on to all related authorities. Also, the permit writers have to be informed about the illegal shipment. Next step is the organization of the repatriation to the country of dispatch. In Croatia, this would be the permit writers at the Ministry of Environment and Nature Protection. The environmental protection inspectors can impose administrative measures, like prohibiting the shipment in case of illegal transport. Illegal transboundary shipments of waste are punished either by the criminal court or by the misdemeanor court. So, border inspections are a very important part in fighting illegal shipment, but also taking into account that the visible inspection of trucks also has proved to be very effective. Because of their big storage areas and large amounts of waste to be transported by sea, harbours are ideal locations for performing inspections. Stakeholders involved in harbour inspection are customs, maritime police, port authorities, coast guard if necessary, and of course environmental protection inspectors. Basically, there are two locations in the harbour for inspections. One is the open storage area, where materials are stored in piles. The other is the container terminal, where loaded and unloaded freight can be inspected. A pile of waste gets inspected by checking its composition, and if it's stored according to security requirements. If the composition of the waste gives notice of problematic impurities, an accredited laboratory has to be called for taking samples and carrying out analysis. If the findings confirm the suspicion, the permit writers and all other authorities have to be informed. When checking containers at the terminal, a comprehensive documentary check, including customs documentation, is the first step. Based on the documents and the information attached on the container, certain containers are selected for inspection. As the containers often have to be moved to the ground for enabling safe inspection, logistical assistance by the harbour authorities is required. Therefore, harbour inspection has to be announced in time. If there are indications of bulky freight in a closed container, safety precautions have to be met. The door must be opened with the use of a safety chain to avoid injuries. If available, an X-ray scanner to check the cargo more precisely can be used. The Coast Guard and the Maritime Police are responsible for regularly checking offshore traffic within their competencies, which also includes transboundary shipment of waste. In case of detection of illegal shipments offshore, the ship is to be accompanied by Maritime Police or Coast Guard to the harbour, and environmental protection inspectors are to be informed. Train inspections are important because big amounts of waste are transported by train as well. The waste streams mostly found on trains are metal scrap, waste of electric and electronic equipment, end-of-life vehicles, and paper waste. Because of the high frequency of transports and the logistical possibilities for inspection purposes, shunting yards are the best locations for train inspections. Involved stakeholders are customs, police, and environmental protection inspectors. For safety reasons, a representative of the railway company should always join the inspection. The first step is to announce the inspection to the management of the railway station. If the date is confirmed, all available documents concerning the announced transports on that specific day have to be checked. Based on these facts, a decision is made as to which wagons should be checked physically. The inspection of wagons is carried out similarly to the inspection of open or closed containers. But it requires good logistical preparation, because due to the high voltage power lines, wagons carrying bulky freight sometimes have to be transferred to a rail track with no power lines for safe inspection. Another possibility for wagon inspection is at companies which have a connecting line to the railway system. If there is a special suspicion of illegal waste shipment concerning a specific company, it is the best option to perform the inspection directly at the location of the company. And there, the best time for checking the wagons is when they are ready for departure. In this case, the origin and the destination of the cargo is clearly established. No excuses can be made by the persons in charge. Company inspection in connection with transboundary shipment of waste requires the most detailed and careful preparation. In addition to the usual steps of preparation, it is important to perform internet research concerning this company, to check all relevant permits and the results of former inspections. Also, all available information concerning waste streams taken over or delivered by this company should be reviewed. On the site of the company, all relevant documents have to be checked. These are notification documents, Annex 7 forms, and the related contracts of the Waste Shipment Regulation, CMR documents, national accompanying documents for transports, invoices, loading bills, register on waste, and last but not least, the correspondence with other companies. In addition to that, it is also recommended to check electronic data. This inspection should concern a certain period of time, at least the last year, in order to get a comprehensive overview of the activities of the company. Detailed and careful data comparison to the extent necessary has to be carried out to get the whole picture of the shipments of waste. The next step is to check the company site, including storage places of input and output production materials, and the areas where waste is stored. Very important is the estimation of the quantities of waste stored, compared to the numbers in the documentation. Also, the composition of the waste stored has to be inspected. Next step is to check if the company is allowed to take over the present waste fractions, that the production residues resulting from production meet waste classification requirements, and that the storage of waste is done in an adequate way. In case of indications that waste is not classified properly, samples should be taken. A lot of effort and expertise has to be taken by each individual to help detect illegal waste shipment. But good training and the right attitude is not enough. All the involved authorities have to constantly improve their cooperation, not only on a national, but also on an international level, because that's where illegal waste shipment takes place. So, training on a regular basis, a constant sharing of best practices, and successful inspections on a national and an international level will contribute to make this world a cleaner place.